Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Last week I shared some of my top 7 book prescriptions, and I'm continuing the next 7 on today's episode. So these are books that I recommend constantly, but they are books that solve specific problems. So let's jump right in. I need to think of a catchy name for my product, my idea, my website, my business. The book that you should read on that is Pop by Sam Horn. She gives you specific techniques for creating sticky messages that lodge in people's brains, and she breaks down why some phrases work, what language to use. And what she really answers in this book is, why do some ideas break out and others fade away? What causes people to become so excited about a product they can't wait to tell their friends? And how can an idea be communicated so that it catches fire in people's imaginations? So what she does in this book is share POP, which is purposeful, original, and pithy, to name things that create, basically one-of-a-kind ideas, products, and messages that pop through the noise. And I'm a big fan of the importance of naming things. Like, I have a section in my book, The 2-Hour Workshop Blueprint, that is dedicated to just how to name things. And yeah, I think about it a lot. Anytime I'm doing something as service, how you name something is so important. So this is a really great read for that. Problem. I have people that approach me all the time and say, hey, I want to become a speaker like you, Leanne. I want to get paid to speak, but I have no idea how to get booked or get started. The book I recommend for this is Book More Business by Lois Creamer. So what she does is she shows you how to position yourself as a speaker, not just someone who speaks. Create materials that get you booked and negotiate proper fees. So what I love about this is really focused on the business side of speaking, like how to follow up after events to get repeat bookings. It's very pragmatic. She has templates, she has scripts, she has like this 2-pager thing. I need to revisit it. All these books that I'm sharing with you, these are books that I go back to as well time and time again, because it's one thing to read the book, it's another thing to actually work through the activities. The next book is I Need More Thinking Time, or I'm not actually thinking through decisions. I sometimes am making expensive mistakes I feel like I can avoid. The book I recommend on this is called The Road Less Stupid by Keith J. Cunningham. The title completely conveys the tone of this book. It is hilarious. Hilarious in terms of how brutal it is, but it gives you, it really talks about the importance of thinking time, and how he personally spends 45 minutes to 60 minutes every single day just sitting in a chair. He has this ritual of sitting in a chair with a notepad with nothing around him and just writing around a question. So in the book, he shares each chapter is like a specific question that you can ask, how to, and then like really just encouraging you to have the time put away to do this so that you can avoid something called stupid tax. A stupid tax is a costly error that comes from not thinking things through. This is like an epic book. Again, one I need to probably implement more, but you can read the first 2 chapters of it and pretty much get the message, but the guiding questions after that are really valuable too. Next book. I keep procrastinating and putting off these projects I want to get started on. And these could be creative projects. This could be like you want to start a podcast, write a book, create some art. The book that I recommend for this is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. The writing in this is unbelievable. And what Pressfield names is the enemy is resistance. So it's that voice that tells you to check email instead of writing, or to clean your office instead of creating. Every day we are fighting, we are in a battle against resistance. And he shows you how resistance actually operates and gives you strategies to push through anyway. And really what this book is about showing up and just being consistent and honoring yourself by doing the things that are important for you. I want to bring some random friends together, but I'm not too sure how to do that. Read The 2-Hour Cocktail Party by Nick Gray. You don't need to run a cocktail party. You can, although this book actually gives you that result. I have run a cocktail party using Nick Gray's method, and I've interviewed Nick on my podcast as well. And my book, The 2-Hour Workshop Blueprint, a lot of the structure was really based around Nick's book. I found it so the images, the tone of voice in his book was so approachable. And that's what I wanted to do in my book as well. But it gives you a formula for hosting events where people actually connect. He shows you how to create social infrastructure, things like name tags, conversation starters, how to get people mixing together. And what I love about the book is there's an end time frame. So when you're hosting an event, you're like, right, this is going to go from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. He has counterintuitive advice, like host it on a school night. And it's really about how to host, and it's really about how do you bring people together? How do you host great networking and mingling events as opposed to the really crappy ones that are often run. Next book is I want to write a book, but I don't know where to start. The number one book I'd recommend on this, particularly if you're writing nonfiction, is the book called Write Useful Books by Rob Fitzpatrick. This book changed the game when I was writing my 2-Hour Workshop Blueprint. It's all about how do you reduce the amount of words to give more value per page. And when I was writing my book, what I wanted to achieve was that someone would read it and they would bookmark every second page of my book or highlight something on every single page, because that shows that you're providing value and not adding filler words. It's also about writing a book that actually solves a real problem, which is like all the books that I mentioned in this are all useful books. They solve specific, really quite niche challenges as well. So if you want the end-to-end guide on how to do that, Write Useful Books by Rob is amazing. The problem might be, I don't know why that person made that decision, or I don't know why I decided that. Like, how do decisions actually work? Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel is an excellent book. It is not the easiest book to read. He shows you why your brain tricks you into making bad decisions and how to catch yourself before making costly ones. So I think if you marry this book with The Road Less Stupid, you're in a pretty good place when it comes to decision making. He goes through a lot of these cognitive biases, how emotion is so powerful. And so if you're selling something, if you're marketing, this is also a really helpful book in terms of how do you message something that can help build understanding why and how we make decisions. Like I said, it's not a book that you'd read in one sitting. It will take you some time. It's more of a reference textbook, but the lessons are so valuable, I'd have to recommend it here. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow with the next set of recommendations. Thanks for listening.